And roll 'em. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, into my living room, the room where I begin to live. As you can see in the background, it's a little bit darker. That's the doom room. That's where I have to go to sleep and shut my eyes and stop thinking and go into the other world, letting this world go all the time. I wake up in the middle of the night, huffing and puffing. I'll blow your house down. Oh my God. In the middle of the night when I get up, I always say to myself, you know what? I'm just going to think, but not too much. And then I start to think and I can't sleep and I really don't want to go back to sleep because I'm thinking of something. I'm thinking of something so interesting. The calamari, I bought calamari, was a calamari, and it looked like the Malbec belt, but I thought of it as an onion ring. Thought of it as an onion ring because the onion ring gets breaded with a little bit of egg. Everybody wants a chick now and then, so we're gonna get an egg. How do you get an egg? The chick lays eggs. So the chick lays eggs. I can't say the chick is getting laid, but I can say the chick is laying eggs. Wow, who said that? Oh, yes. George Carlin. Yes, yes. I was thinking of getting a job. I was looking at this place and I was thinking of getting into produce. So you know what? I was getting into produce. Now listen carefully. First of all, first truck I see, his produce is 10. That was right on the numerology that was done for me yesterday. Raphael's numerology, ruler of Venus, the number, the element, the air. You can tell me anything you want. But what's a ruler? What's a Venus? What's a number? What does it mean to you, the number, the Venus? What I like is I like this part right here. This right here. This here. You know why I like that part right there? Is because it's right over here. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, I lost my camera. Look, it's right over here. Right here. Look, here and here. Protection. Let's protect the squid over here or the calamari. Let's keep open the lights, but over the light, look, you see this skin? The skin over it is protecting this. It's protecting this from under the tail. Look, two faces together, one pin, one needle, and look right here, the calamari. Did you see this ID? ID, ID. ID. What does ID stand for? 4 and 9. 4994 ID. Like I said, I was looking to get this truck driving job. 3 G's. Grasmic produce. In French, the word on there, I'm not quite sure what it is, but it says boisé. And boisé in French means the woods. And then it says aho. Oh, like almost a hova. Or like Jehovah. It's got an ID and a aho ID. Hey, sailor, what's going on? Yeah, Grasmic produce. Yeah. Yeah, they're probably going to give me a call very shortly and tell me to get my butt over there. Now, that would be pretty cool. What do you think, eh? You ever hear of them? Grasmic produce. Why don't you sort of look them up? Grasmick. Like Mickey Mouse. You know what I'm saying? Grass, Mickey Mouse, grass. No wonder you're stoned all the time. Holy bananas. Don't go slip sliding away on me now. Yeah, I was looking at calamari in the grocery section. Mr. Tack Pans was down for a while. Now I'm doing a video on my Logitech. It's so much cleaner than the other way, but I'm just hoping I'll be able to upload because believe it or not, it wasn't, it was my Logitech camera not working that wouldn't upload. But if it's in the Logitech system right now and I can play it back, but every time I try to get it over to YouTube, it won't accept anything from me. And I keep telling them, who are you, Mr. Tackpans? And then all of a sudden I had to turn on the radio and go, who are you? Ooh, okay. And the owl, oh my God, OWL, low, the low world, the owl. Who? How? Who? How? No, it's where. You know why it's where? Because in French, I'm all over the place, okay? But in French, I don't even know where to start. It's been days since I've been on here. Oh my God. There's so many connections. It's such a real world. But let me tell you something really small. Who am I? My name is, I don't even like to say my name because I don't like really any of the names and I don't want to take part. The entity of which I work with, okay, which is what you turn on anytime you want to see who, where, what I am, okay, that's what it is, okay. Do I have my helmet on? I got to put my helmet on because then the ears will go up and I'll have a feeding station. And the birds will all come around my head. And I got one over here and one over here and then one over here. Straight back that way. They burnt out all my hair. Here, here, and here. So the feeders were up there. I lost my hair. Okay. And they spread out, and on each of these feeders was one of these, all coming into a cap. One here, one here, one here, and one here. All feeding into here, or do I not use this one? Because if I don't use this one, I only use 5. So if I only use 5 and I don't use this one, that's what I needed. That's why the hair might be gone, right? Well, we don't know. Well, we put this all the way up here. And I'm wearing the helmet. Yeah, you ever play football and wear the helmet? The mitt, what is a mitt in your life? A helmet, something put over us with a bag that pegs somewhere into our head so it all works like one system. Dear, I got a headache. That's right, because you've been bugged, my friends. I'm just happy that Mr. Tackman has sort of come back. I don't have a lot of numbers, but I'm going to try and get some numbers into here because I ain't stopping until the end, and then it'll be almost what they say is over, but it's not over until it uploads. Yeah, I just tear apart these things. Just show me something. Like I went to Grasmick Produce, okay, and right away I see truck number 10. I see 3 Gs, which is 371 or 137. And what is actually 137 is when you play the piano, the first connection to the completion of the ring, which ends up on 2 because of 1, because 1 is connected to 7, where 2 is connected to 1, because 1 and 7 come together is 8. What lives together is 1 and 7 come together is 8. That's how you get the 2 pieces for the H inside, okay? If I just took a few lines, right, and through a bead inside the center and you close it on it, I'll now separate above from below, and it'll be like a bar, like an H and an I. If you slice it in half, you'll see it right away. But because it's in round, you can't imagine it. Very funny, eh? 94186. 94186. What would that give you? 94186. Not only that, but I and D next to O and R, Christian Dior. 49 is Mars and Pluto. 491. 4918, 1 and 8, Raish Angel, Ho, ID 49, and if I'm assuming that I in Chaldean will now go to be 1, in which D still stays to be 4, and A is 1. So you'd have 141, 816, 815, but that's not true. Because 815 will give you the 120. It'll give you the triangle, okay, which is 120 plus 16, the cue ball, 136 on the 15 balls of pool, plus the one that breaks from inside the triangle. Okay, so the triangle gives you 120, plus the 16 is 136, 6, 1, and 3. Okay, so now I know the 8 is valued at 5, the H in Chaldean, and the O is valued what used to be 6, but I remember now it was just one more, so it's 7. So H, okay, I have to reduce that H would be 5 and 7, 7 and 5. So that would be the ID, the Angel ID. Angel ID, Grasmick Produce. Okay, and they seem to set up the produce. Have you ever seen the way they set up produce? They set up produce, okay, in a like twisted cone, something to do. You ever see what they do in the Swiss Alps when they blow that horn? Well, looks more like the Fibonacci code that keeps on turning around. And I see this here on the truck from Grasmick Produce, from some, and on the corner of the truck, the trailer is 1A. So the trailer is 1A, but the truck is 10. Okay, so where else am I gonna go? Let me go down here. You still there, Ronnie? Yeah, you're still there. You haven't left. I'm hoping we can upload this. I went into Chaldean and I did a few questions on Chaldean, and it talks maybe that there's a possibility that is the you see you have to have something that's concrete, and CH is creation heaven. Now, how do they create a heaven? Well, they take a letter like the H, okay? They show you a round letter, but in the middle it's all pipes. You don't see it. And all the letters, well, they're all connected together. So then there's pipes and elbows. Chaldean, 35. How will any of these 35, I said at the beginning, 3 by 5, 3 plus 5. That's Chaldean. She's got creation heaven. She had somehow, like I said before, somehow she comes to the piano and she ties things together. Have you ever thought of the piano? There's 36 black keys. 3 and 6 is 9. 3 minus 6 is 3. Works perfectly. Does it not, that number? Do you follow me? I just played with stuff. I don't do anything. I don't do anything. I don't know astrology, and I don't know anything about the planets. I do know what everybody else says, that if you're waking up and it's in the morning, then you're getting out of bed in the morning. And I did want to show you one thing about Chaldean is right here. This design comes out of spelling 8 and 5, 13 inside Chaldean. Why 8 and 5, 13? Okay, I'm using this. I'm taking Pythagorean space. Pythagorean, I mean, numbers has more space. More space. Different area, different number, more space. Using the same numbers, but because you're not in the same space, and because the numbers come square in that area of perception, you need more numbers for that space. What size does this have to be? Does anybody really know? If I had to draw dots on this, how many dots would it take to draw the exact value of what every single cube is in this space? And do we need an outer perimeter? Okay. If we need an outer perimeter, then we always want to see its reflection. Not because it is, because it can. It can be reflected. It can be duplicated. It can be flipped over. We can have another impression on the other side showing us what the design is in the middle from each side replicating themselves. I did that over here. Over here. Field goal, field goal, field goal. Is it 3 points? Maybe it's 3 points because you see the line up here? Somehow, some way, all these lines in the letters in our alphabet, all these lines, somehow some of them are not, you're not supposed to see them. Somehow we're seeing the thing the wrong way. Maybe there should be an edge or something like the Chinese letters and it would say so much more connecting everything. You see, they've enlarged the alphabet because you can't see. So no, look at the size. Look at this letter. I can remember this letter. I mean, you know what we're like in the alphabet? Look, man, look at the size. Yeah, that's the letter A. Now I see it properly. But wait a second. What if you turn it on this angle? He's pretty screwed up to take a marble out, one with all those colors, and say, what angle would you like me to hold this marble on? I'm like, what? When you hold on to anything, don't you hold it like this? Or do you hold it like this? Have you ever seen your hand? Have you ever really looked? Have you bowled? Do you know that your hand automatically goes from this to this automatically? Do you know how good that feeling is in your arm when you go bowling and you know that your arm is switching directions because it's a national movement within your own, what do you call them? Doing. Okay, where was I next? We saw this one already. I put a heart. You see the heart up here? Then I put a heart upside down. And then I put the can inside this heart and this heart. Okay? This heart and this heart are together. This one is infiltrating into this heart. Can we do it that way? Did we do lime? Did we do lemon? 39, three worlds that are green, perfect 13. 1, 5, and 9. 5 and 9, 5 and 9. What kind of lemon? You cut a lemon which way? You cut a lime which way? What do we do with this? 3.1415, beginning of pi. It says the world and me. The world and me. Mi, miel, the honey. Miel in French says the honey. Okay. Hiel, the lemon. Mondial. My name. Le Mol. I'm trying to think. Le Monde says the world. But anyways, I'm fooling around with all of this right now. Another thing I wanted to say is that we're going to go for the high number. The 18 on here is red. Okay. 18 is red. Red is 27 and 18 equals to 45. The next number is number 19. Okay. 19 is red. The number becomes 46. 20 is black. Okay. So 20 is black, and the number for black is 29. That would be 49. So now automatically 20 says 49, which says green, which says H, which is the second heaven. This says your second heaven right here only because I asked the question. The next number in the second round is going to be, well, besides this one, it's 17 black. So it would be 29, and 29 is 58, and 17 and 20, 68, 78, 88, 95. This would become 95 black. Do you understand what I went? I went 17 and 20, the higher and lower number, but now I'm only going 20. What does number 20 give me? And in darts, it's the highest number, and it's in the 12 o'clock position. Then you have to ask yourself what the question is, okay? I'm just trying to tell you that in black, that's what it's going to tell you. Now, should we go to the end, number 36? Well, number 36 is also red. 46, 56, and 7 is 63. And that's exactly what it has to be, 63. Do you follow me why? It has to equal to a 9. And it has to equal to the red, 36. 3 and 6 is 9, creation of the 18. Says the second 18, and in between that is 27. ID, 49. The lowest is 4. If you don't have the lowest is 4, you see, there's two ways to look at this. I'm hoping one day that somebody can remind me, can hold this, because I need to stop thinking about that. I'm going to forget this. And now I got to remember what it is. First of all, there's 19 and 28 that are very, very, very strong. There's, yes, okay, I was talking about, there's 4 walls and 4 points on a triangle, but only 2 walls reflect each other at a time. Okay, in which you have a wall here, and a wall here, and a wall here. You have 3 walls, and then the floor is so perfectly made. The floor, okay, also becomes now a wall. So there's 4 walls and 4 points, but only 3 face each other, which only 2, and actually 1 reflects 2 and 2 reflect 1. Okay, they reflect the same one. And no matter what you do, you're always, this one is always on top of this one. But that one's always on top of this one, that this one's on top of that one. There's only 3. I touch the bottom, and I touch the top. I've touched both. He touches me, and then he touches he. He touches both. You're always touching both. So anyways, there was that thing over there. Did I do the video where I live on MSN? MR Son. Who is MR? My phone number was 688-9277. I think I did all of this. Did you know that the 277th day is March 29th? The reflection of my birthday of October 4th. Okay. Well, I'm talking about myself. Sorry about that. I forgot. It's part of the project. Just talk about whatever comes to your mind. So that did. Sorry, it had to be my birthday. What was I thinking? Yeah, so I don't want to forget that the triangle, okay? Cut it here. It's only got, you understand? 3 sides and 1 floor. The 1 floor gets 1 point, and all the sides have a point on each of it. They all come to the main point. And if you want to look at it a different way, we can make it thin, thin, thin walls. And Jay, you have already done this, okay? Take each thin wall, make sure there's only 3 sides to it. How many windows can be in each side? 3. Each one can have 3 windows. It'll be this thick. It'll go on this angle, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. So it has the back side and the front side. Because if you put 3 walls together, well, one side has the back side and the front side because you had to use the material. The material has a front to the back. If there's no front, then there's no back, then there's no side, then there's no up, then there's no material. The minute you put your hand on something, it's got everything included. So I have to remember that because there's triangles. And don't forget, if I put this triangle on here, I can cut out this whole thing. All I need is this side showing, and the top. So I'd get 3. Do you follow me? There's so many little things. So what did I actually ask for? Um, yeah, I just take games and I look at things. I take things like roulette, thinking how can the Kabbalah and the chakra system fit inside this, to the rotation of 36 different positions, numbers, and colors. That's my question. To how we can bring it like this, from one word of love inside roulette, and then find all the sockings all over with the numbers that they're valued at. Or take the alphabet and put it in order. A, B, C. When you look into number 3, it's C and H. 4 is D and N. 5 is E and E. What am I doing here? I have absolutely no idea. But what I would like to see is how many letters there are when you have the English numbered alphabet, okay, for the 26 letters, and you want to count in your 7 colors of pool. Or let's do it easier. Let's count to number 9 and see which letters we do not use inside the alphabet. And if we do use, what do we use? And is anything, how can we say it? Is anything mystical inside? Okay. And then we had this over here. Area. A-R-E-A. Area. Area space 55. 5555. Area space 555. For 514. 514. 514. 514. Montreal. Here they come, Montreal, because that's your area code. And it even says Poet 1010. That is all about Montreal, my friends. This is what it's all about. What did I do to connect this? I connected only the vowels. Oh, there's other ways you can do it. I don't have to do the top. All I can do is do this part over here. If I just turn it sideways, see, I can just do it like that as number 3 on this side and number 3 on that side. You see that? 3 and 3 face to face. But if you really take a look at it, doesn't it look like part of a butterfly? And then on the other side, a part of a butterfly? Or if you want to just do it this way, you can have part of the butterfly this way or part of the butterfly this way. What is the center? It's 555, but it's T. 5, 5, 5. You see, 10 T is 2, 5, 1, 4. 2, 5, 1, 4, 5, 2. But this automatically becomes 6. Add 6 to here, so you would get, and it all depends, because inside of the world of Chaldean, T is number 4. T is number 4. Oh yeah, because she's hooking up worlds. That's why. That's why. There's something about why number 9 is not in there. She's hooking up worlds. What is she actually hooking up? Maybe it's because 7 never gets to play 2. Is that the possibility? 7 never gets to play 2? Is that what it is? What number does never get to play 2? And the only time you get your 9 is when man comes here in 9 months. Okay, that's your 9. But also your 9 is lost in 8. So Chaldean can never have any 8 until she gets the face of 8 inside the creation, changing her, okay, from 8 over to F8. Ah, because she has the child now. 1 and 7, the 7th gate. 1 and 7 comes together, the 7th gate making the face of man. 1 and 7 equals 8, Chaldean, F8. Is that what it is? H is 5. H is 5. So we now connect E, F, and G. 6 and 7 is 13. What 8 and 5 is 13. 8 and 5, 13 is the sun, the orange ball. So that's what you get. 5 and 5. 8 and 3 is 11. 10 and 11. This is hold on a second. I was on the wrong one. It's 10 and 11. It's a perfect 21. 4 is on one side. IJ is on the other side. But IJ goes with H. So 5, 1, and 1. K is also 1 and 1. You knew that, right? JK, the JKL, they actually just go together. So HIJK, elemental P, it's perfect. The creation egg from, this is from Chaldean. Now I know I must have made some sort of error in there. So let me just see. I'm not sure how things connect to our mind, okay? But have you put on your helmet, HELLMUT? Or how about let's have a little Hellman's mayonnaise. Now, why is it Hellman's? What color is it? What color has it has been? What are their commercials? Let's see what fits where. Don't forget, we have history to work with. It already happened. We can look so far back to all the possibilities that we do and get the actual formation of all the changes in the world that went on, and we can go back and say, hey, look what they did back then, why didn't we notice it? You're allowed to do that. You can go look back to yesterday and say, hey, look, I learned it from yesterday. You don't have to discover. Your discovery is looking for what you find, and what you find is what you found, and that's your discovery. We share because alone we go nowhere. We go nowhere unless we share. Doesn't mean I'm going to share everything. I'm still going to have my hard head, but I'm going to make sure that communication is a plus and a must. There's only one way to go, and it's communication. You must find every single hardware store you can find in your own mind. It's all about the road to communication. Communication has everything to do with anything and everything, because without communication, there is no source that will communicate with anything to know about anything and all, because nothing communicates. We need piping, we need electric, we need the helmet. Is the helmet of a broken heart. By the way, that shirt, that shirt, that shirt, that shirt. Oh, right. I remember that shirt that I couldn't find that I found. I found it and I brought it to the cleaners. It was pretty funny. I could have brought it to the laundromat and cleaned one shirt for like whatever, $3, $4. And I brought it to the laundromat and I spent the same amount of money, except I don't have to wait, and I know they're gonna do a good job because that's what they do. It's their business. I have no business. I'm just trying to show you all the little things I can get from games, questions. I'm afraid to forget to ask myself a question. Like if anybody ever tells me to, like, hey Ron, why don't you study that? I mean, ideas to never forget to, and to study. But when you're studying, you seem to, everything seems to wedge on in. So it really doesn't matter where you go. But sometimes it's nice to continue on to another thought where you automatically know that. Can I say the truth? I'm looking for one other thing in here. Is this the helmet? This goes around your neck. This is you. The yellow star is you. The gold star, Hollywood stars. So this is you, the triangle, shoulders down to your hips because you can bend both ways. Those are your legs. And this goes around you. You ever see what the talus looks like? You ever see the talus, what it looks like? There's strings in every corners of the talus. The 9 birth, the 4 corners, the ID of ho yo, you know. Yeah, got good potatoes. Yeah, I was thinking of just hauling them potatoes around. Wholesale and distributors. Oh, I went to this guy once. Oh my God, their truck turned over. It says potatoes, Walter's Produce. Wow, nuclear reactors. Green Giant. Wow. Contact this link. Oh, wait a second. Idaho Sand and Gravel. Eagle Eye Produce. Just simply good. All right. Oh my God. 44 degrees north. Oh my God. There were so many things I found out there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And gray. Oh my God. 44. Oh my God. You look at this. JJ. It says JJ, doesn't it? 44 north. Wow, that's so weird, you know? So let me go into my book and see what I'm actually looking at. Yeah, We all know my buddy, eh? Beak, her big hairdo, two eyes at her feet as she comes in for the slide. I don't know where I'm going. Oh my God, look at this. See the word jackal? Okay. J is the 10th letter. A is the first letter. K is the 11th letter. A is the first letter. E is only E because the E comes before the L in the sound of the letter L. So I put jackal. Every single one of those is 1 and 2. J, K, L. Jacqueline. Okay. Or Jacqueline. So you have a total of 33. That's how the alphabet works. When you go 1, 2, 1, 2, or 0, 1, 2, this is what you get. Also, when you get number 51, the Z and the Y equal to 51 in numbers, but in Chaldean, the Y is 1 and the Z is 7, coming 1 down from 8. Why does Z come 1 down from 8? Well, that's a good question. That's a good question. If we knew exactly what number is the circle again, okay, and 1 ring, 2 rings, and in this ring is a lock, and then another ring goes up to this one. 1 ring has 2 areas to it, and every area gets ringed inside itself. I don't know how it works. What I was talking is the XY is number 51, and it comes out to number 11, okay? That's when I multiply it and add it, okay? Now, when I do that and re-add it to the number, it becomes 62, and that becomes the XY, the king's crown. But when I do it from Chaldean, I end up with 17, or 1 and 7, but we're going to use it as 1 and 17. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 is 8, and 7 is 15. So then we have 15, which is the letter O, okay, against an 11. But wait a second. We had 15. We just equal to the same original number. You see what I did? 1 times 7 is 7. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 and 7 is 15. Then I said X and Y, the letters and numbers, the 25th and the 26th. They're 51. 5 and 1, 1 and 5, what's the difference? I did one mathematical equation, multiplying and adding, and they came back to each other. Will they all come back to each other? I have not checked them, and I really doubt it. So therefore, my thoughts are worth nothing more than a thought. You can say yes, you can say no. I wanted to show you that they switched August and September because August was an even numbered month. It should have 30 days. September should have 31. But 30 is creation. And 31 is AC power. 30 is creation. 30, this one is AC power. The child should be born in this month over here. He's born in this month over here, creation of the child. What day would it have to be that a child would be born? If you went into bed and had hormones on the 1st of January, what would it take to get into here? Anyways, irregardless, August, September, with 30 and 9 is the month, with 8 and 31, they both become of the 3 worlds. They intertwine. 8 and 9 intertwine, H and I intertwine. H and I as 1 and H as 5. H, okay, is 5. Just like an ID, which I is 1 and H is 5. 1 and 5 come together again in I and H of I and D. In where O is of the 7th gate, IDHO. 41 is your Monopoly game. It's USA. It's the change in your pocket. 43 is, if I remember, is the hot water. This is the 12th month. 43, Barack Obama. This is the one where the beginning of everything started. That's why we sing the veterans down in November, because of this. Do you know how we get this? 5 times 6 and 5 plus 6 equals this number over here. And guess what? It only happens one time. And it's the highest 11 that you can get. Do you know where it comes from? It comes from the same number we did. 1 plus 5, 1 times 5 equals 5 and 6. 1 times 5 and 6. 5 times 6, 5 plus 6 equals 11 and 30. The only time it ever happens in the year is in November, number 41. October is number 31 and 10. And the only way this can happen is when 7 times 3 is 21. 7 and 3 is 10. 10 and 21 is 31. 31 and 10 is 41. But this is not the right way to go ahead and do it. We can do it the same way as this. This would be 5 and 6. This would be 6 and 4. This would be 5 and 5. Which way do we go with it? We take a set of dice, we write it down on a piece of paper, we check out all the possible ways, and that's the way you can go. It's not cheating, it's teaching yourself the differences, the similarities, the understandings. I have to repeat again. You're sitting here watching this entity that I perform within. From within my heart, for the only way I can absolutely feel and express is when I truly believe. And I never want to forget, and I never want to lose the feeling of believing in something so great, that there is something so much deeper. There's a story inside of it. There's a story. It doesn't matter whatever came true. If you have the entire story that you can recreate, okay, if it ever was true, you would know it. Aren't you proud to know something? Just to know? Not sitting in a conversation where it's not that you don't care if you take part, but you just can't even go because you have nothing to say. But we should always feel welcome anyways. I'm not expecting anybody to really understand everything I say because I make this shit up. I tell you what it is. I tell you the story. The jit. The travel, I see what I see, I tell you, because it's a story in the entity of the perception of this world that I have attained through being bipolar. I have to add to the fact that gave me what I think is an interception between a side door world where just with the right tension and a little bit of medication so you don't fly the kite too high, it's just to dig a little bit deeper and believe. Artificial intelligence. In one level or another, just consider it yourself. For every choice you were intelligent enough to make that choice. Were you intelligent to think what that choice might have meant to the rest of the world? Knowing that communication is only, not if, it is only, because without the rest of the world, you don't exist. You can't look at yourself if there's no one around and think you exist, because nothing would be there. Not a plant, not an animal, not a color, a dark space where you can't see anything, where you'll have eyes and hands and fingers, and you want to move. There's no food either, because there's nothing there, because you didn't communicate. July is 731, creating the woman. July creates the woman. And on July 4th, it becomes 42. Time is number 47. And the Queen's connection to the two sides of the angel is number 88. How do I know? Because the French told me. QVH, 88, is the number. When you add up 88 and time, why 88 in time? Because Q, V, and H, 17, 22, and 8. Unless you want to go the Q, now I got to go back to Chaldean over here and look at the Q. And the Q is number 1. The V is number 6. Wow, 1 and 6 is a 7 right away. And the H is a 5. You have 1, 6, 5. You have 12. Wow, that's good. You have creation one more time. So you have 12 here in this one, and 47 is 59. Don't forget 59 and 15. Do you remember what we were just doing before? We were doing number 47, 65, but what is 15, 51? Remember I said 1 times 7? I went to Chaldean. I said 1 times 7, 1 plus 7. Is that what I said? 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 is 7 and 8. 7 times 8 is 56 plus 15 is 17 again. So instead of bringing it back together, you leave it apart. So you have 56 on one side and 15 on the other side, which you create 30, 11, 15. 66 says woman. The rook, the pond, the fork in the road. In French, when you write this word, it says, let's put on the oven and get cooking. It also says, baby, just roll on over, baby, because I want to start forking you. But if we were all in the kitchen and somebody said they want to fork you, you'd probably get in trouble because that means stabbed. And no one wants to stab or fork anybody, right? So time becomes these two numbers. 17, 39, and 8 is 47. 47 plus 88 from the initials to the number we actually called out, 88, E and E. 8 and 7 is 15. Put 5 over here, put 1 on the 9. 8 and 1 is 9, and 4 is 13. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. Time of 88. The piano, 1, 3, 5. And at the same time, look in your Chaldean what 1, 3, and 5 is, and pick out Q is 1, 5 is 8, and V is, I'm not quite sure. I think it was 6. Yeah, it was 6. Good guess. Okay, so we talked about the rook, the castle. Have I mentioned different numbers? We have to remember one thing. Now, don't forget, I'm jumping all over. The 1, one of the things about the 1, okay, and I'm not sure. Maybe because we overlap this corner right over here with the next cube. See what stays out? We put a cube here, and then we put a cube for these two. Except these won't be this big. These 3 rows will be separated from each other. So they might be the same size. So I can overcover this over here, removing the 1 position. So the 1, but the 1 does not exist. The 1 only goes in here. It plays from the heart. Because the 1 is, let's say this was the 1. Everything extends from this. So even if it was the 1 at the beginning, okay, and everything extends from, let's say, a corner, okay, this is the 1. So you extend it, the 1 ends up in the middle at the end. Everyone ends up in the middle at the end. 1 starts to exist in here. But in all reality, this comes together with this, and then into the world you come, and it makes this. 3, the crustacean goes over the 2, creating the 5. Now, if I took another dice, and everybody has seen this before, as Chaldean, and if this was Chaldean, I put myself right over here, okay? And at the same time I put myself over there, I'd go on this side, and I take this and this, and I would turn it into this one over here. That would be Chaldean. Why? Because it took, look, I'm going to show you again. I'm going to show you again. Why is it Chaldean? I'm going to show you. Chaldean comes together as 1 and 5, right? But it might be 1 and 5 is hold on a second, is I and J, I, J, and N, I, J, and X, I, J, and E, the electronic heartway. That's why H connects over there. Wow, okay, now I understand that. Did you understand that? I guess not, eh? So we talked about this, right? July, December. See, you know what's about December? This is the 11th month. 1 and 1 is 2. 1, 2, 3. A, B, C. But we won't go there right now. So we did this. Equals to 135. Or 8 and 7 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 8 and 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. Time of 88 equals 36. Talking about the Black Keys again. Time and Chaldean time. Piano pedals. Did you see this code in the piano? You see this code in the piano? Well, this is on the 7, this is on the 3. It's telling you that the creation is in the dog pound and the 7th gate. You see the S, the spirit that's locked up? Locked up from where? Is this the tail that's wagging? I'm really not sure what's wagging. But let's go on. Horses. Horses, 10, 9. Pool ball, 4 and 12. All purples. Pluto and Mars. All connected to ID. I got ID all over the place. My first thing when I first started was all about ID and O. Ho. Um, then there was days of my reflection of my birthday. There was Moses. I don't know if I did this, but I have to show it again. 3, 6, and 5, 2, 4, and 8. They're different numbers, okay? If you do 2, 4, and 8, okay, this you can be done, okay, in your numbers. Follow 2 to 4 to 8. You'll see the design it makes, okay? This equals to 14. This equals to 14. If you add them together, it's man's head. 104. 3 times 65, or 3 times 6 times 5. Do you remember what we did before? 5 times 6 is 30. This ends up, Moses' laws ends up touching November over here in this one. This one over here is 44 space, 96 between 6 and 9. What does that mean? I don't know. But 4 to 8 is 4. 4 to 2 is 2. The difference is 6. So that's why it's man 6. And the opposite of 4 is 6 on the other side. But there's really nothing to really understand in this because I'm not sure of everything myself. Except when I count down to here, this shows me, okay, that we have put on our helmets and we come into this world of 108. 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113. It's all the Twin Towers. Every single one of those numbers. Don't forget the antenna at the top. 90, 3 by 6 by 5, plus 14 is 104. Casino War Bataille. This, 64 and 14, connects the cross to man's back, and now he can have communication with the seventh gate and the eighth heaven of his own mind. 182 is 2 suits of 91. 7 by 13 is 91. 7 days by 13. Do I talk fast sometimes? Sorry about that. I was talking before about, I thought I said X and Y. Now I'm hoping I didn't say X and Y. If it is X and Y, okay, X and Y again, ID, okay, X and Y, 49, X and Y green 849, the green heaven of 49. Something about potatoes. What is it about up there near Calgary? What is it? Something right there. It's like maybe sewn together between states, between two sides. The other thing I wanted to bring together, even though we have 41 cents in our pocket, the number 41 that we brought from October, which was 10 and 31, in which November was 30 and 11, both 41. This is yo. This is used in a game called 7-Eleven. Now, which kind of 4 and 1 is it? Is it off the dice? Is it off the card? Okay. Is it one part of the 7 card, 4 and 1? Because the 7 card shows 4 and 1 and 2. I still have to understand the card. You see, I'm not the smartest guy out there. There's a lot of guys that are smarter. Ask me those questions. Let's figure out, is there a question we can ask? Is it off the card? Is it on the 7 card? Do I call the 7 card, did I say there's a gate on it or a moon on it? I don't say that about the 5 card. 5 card, I call it the heart. I call it the ace hole. So this over here is what happens. One of the reasons why one of the spaces is missing is because this would be a place for your neck, your ear, on top of your head. Here's your computerized face, and this part would be open. So there's always got to be a spot that's open. So this maybe is number 8 over here that's open. So you've got everything going around through your neck into here, and you're running whatever numbers over here. But you don't need this number because that one's where your neck is. I wish I can say it exactly what it was. I did an impression of something over here. Oh, yes, yes, yes. This was the, what's it called you did on me? 115, 513, 5213. Wow. Wow. Creation of the 7th gate, or a passage to the 7th gate. 545, 5545. Wow. I don't know what it means. I can't, but I do know when it shows this, okay, I am the ace hole. The word, did you know that the word in cat was 1, 2, 3, C3, A1, T2? But, okay, but when you say it in Chaldean, cat is 3, 1, 4, AC, DC, electricity from Chaldean cat. And in here, it's 1, 2, 3, and I have 1, 2, 3 right over here. And I am that cat. KOA, Camp House, Mace, Face, an Ace, Love, 88, E-World, E-World Face, 88 Love of CU. I don't know what that means. Anyways, we also talked about yesterday about, I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't remember what it was. I was talking about number 52, which was Earth. 22, 2-2 in the casino, okay, will give you 7-1 odds, okay? 10-10, 5-5 will give you 7-1 odds. But 3-3 and 4-4 will give you 9-1. 3-3 and 4-4. Earth and the prism of the dog pound that we live in. 4 gave you 7-1, passage to the 7th gate. 10 gave you the same thing. But 6 and 8 gave you 9. It paid off your tail for thinking. And now you win and you collect more when you get 2 of the same for 33 and 44, because in odds on the dice, and it's only really, how can they say anything about odds? Because it doesn't ever have to fall on that number. How do they say odds? How can they say odds? It's a number. So anyways, so that means these numbers can never be perfect. I was talking about X and Y. It was supposed to be Y and Z, but there's something more. Y and Y says Earth. Z and Y, this is where Quebec is, electric company, and this is the number to Quebec. Q, okay, the Q letter, or the CU, the creation angel. Y. Were you thinking about seafood? Were you? What part of the sea where we once were? So yes, this is the numerology reading you had on me. So I didn't really tell you much about it, but this one over here, okay, is ring to ring, and this is overhead rings. What comes in is the AC power, and we light up 21 of the creation. 777, 21 of the creation. 777. 3 gateways open. I don't know how it works. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 1. I was multiplying 5 by 2, 5 plus 2, 5 by 1, 5 plus 1, because of what we did before when I didn't count any letter that had number 1. The 1 and the 2 and every single letter was pulled out, was put aside. And now that we have Chaldean and there's more 1s and 2s, what I actually do is I have to pull out the A, I, J, Q, and Y. I have to pull out those letters, and I have to pull out the R, K, and B. And really, you don't want to mix up the first 5 letters, because they're really something a little bit different. They're the same thing, okay? They're the same thing in every single region. There's 4 corners, and when you turn 4 corners, 4, 4, and 4, you get 12, and the 5 goes over the middle for the distance of each other, like a winding staircase. And then you get to the winding staircase to number 6, in which you meet 8 on the letter F is your first change in numbers. You don't count the E because the E is in the center. And A, B, C, D is a winding staircase, so it doesn't have to be over each other. I mean, if it was running, going down is one thing, but going horizontal versus vertical. So you did this number thing on me, so these are the numbers I got. So by taking these 2 out, 9 is already out. Maybe I should take out 8, or just take a look. F is 8 and P is 8, so that's the face of man. We don't need the F because the F will live in P, because the P is 1 and 6, which inside of that will show the 7th gate. So we no longer need F, so you take P, and then P would be the only one that we work on. And once we're working on what man is F's 8, we have our 88 in P and F. Wow, that's pretty cool. So where are we now? Okay, so when you also pull out those numbers of 1 and 2, 10, 11, 12, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, when you pull those numbers out, it says of the summer. It was of the summer. I, inside the 3 worlds of love, inside the pound key, or in my own mind of my own decisions between my face and my ass, in my own creation. 126 plus 6 is 133, 313. That the vibrations I picked up from the piano, it was a love tuck. I kaled. Something I kale. Liak. What are all these words? This is coming from these letters. 52 is the earth. 52 is heart. 5 times 2 lives plus 2 is 107. JG. 10 and 7, the seventh gateway of 5 times 2, the mind of man. We pick up number 36. 2 times 0 equals 30. All 0 equals 15. Since we have 0, an extra 0, we have to add 6 because all zeros equal 6. Now we get 36. So if this was in Chaldean on 759, this would be the gateway of man because 9 only exists from the heart. So if 9 exists from 5, if 9 would exist from 5, then what we would have to do is H. If 9 exists from 5, then H is the one that replaces 9. So we get right away the heart of man inside H of Chaldean instead of 9, so that because 1 and 2 are out, which make 10, 10, we no longer need the F to make the 10, 10. Now we have the H, which will communicate with H and E, which is universal 85 matrix, speed, spirit. It's the silver water, it's the energy, it's the speed. And you mix it again with X, because man, if he had to X himself, if he had to put on that helmet and put it inside of him and have the legs stick out all over from the helmet, almost looking like, I'm not sure, I was going to say a jack of some sort. But anyways, so we have the love jacket that comes from these letters. They protect, and they only bring back number 5, H in Chaldean, so that you have H and E, H-E-N. You have the hen, you have the X-hen, or henix, or whatever else I can put together with my own mind. Then we're going to turn on, I wanted to show the talus. See the tables? These are the 4 corners. This is your ID right here. This goes around your neck. Here's the other one. I duplicated it. Here's the strings. What kind of strings are they? Man plays the strings, his own vibration. How many strings on a guitar? Is it the vibration between one end of the string and the other end of the string that brings on the echo within the piano? The echo in the piano of 36 keys, number 36 is the number I just spoke about, which is the creation found inside of Chaldean. I do not know which number it was right now, but here's what I mentioned before. FP, the light, 6 goes into 16 right here. 8 and 8, back to 16. Remember I said the 36 that was missing? Now I know this is all over the place, but I'll try to find it later. When you say 36 is missing, O and U, you're missing in the circle. Okay, O and U. But it takes the artificial electronic, 1 and 5, 1 and 5, or the 15th letter with the same numbers. 1 and 5 is 15. 15 plus 5 plus 1 equals 21. U equals 21. The only one missing is I9. So you got 21 and 9. So you take 21 away from 9, you got 12. You got 2 and 1. Do you understand what I did? I did what I did, and it became what it did. All you had to do was ask. The other one that would come up to this is now that you had 21 and 15, 6, 1 and 5 is 6, equals 21. 21st letter is U. 21, 21st letter, and 3 makes 24. 24th letter and 21st is 45. Day of the sun, and it makes U and X. What is U and X? X is 5, U is 6. 5 times 6, 5 plus 6 creates your November to remember. That's how you get number 36. This is the reason we didn't have the I9, because all these came together. But inside over here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the total of these other vowels became the number 9 to the I that is missing within. Roman numerals, 1,500, 600, 660, 666. That's one of every single one from the letter of love, E. The only ones you're missing is the E family and the A family, okay, at the end, and you have the I family. Since the I family is already here, we won't invite them. We'll just go E and A is 6, 1672 if you want to look at it that way. So now we're going to go like this, Pythagorean, Chaldean, gematria, and numbers. These are their single numbers. 33, okay, versus the monopoly money inside Monopoly. Pythagorean gets 33. Chaldean gets 26. That's the dog, my friend. Chaldean, the dog. This one becomes the creator, gematria. And this one becomes the life, Pluto. 6853. Electric company, man's own heaven, in a space of 6. X is 6. Where once O was 6. Excuse me. 6 is U, V, W, all the same design of letters. 1666, do we add these together? 8, 10, 12, 15, 159, and 7, 166 to 1666. 84, 87, 97, 107, 117, 127, 133, 136, 166 to 1666. Just so happens 166 is 1832. 1832. That's exactly what it has to be. The backdoor entry. Reich, 1 and 8. Now we're going to tell you all about, because 1 and 8 is A and H, and it's all about the share. It's all about a bunch of things like that. And if you go back to Chaldean, it becomes the communication network within inside of H. Which numbers was I actually mentioning? I don't remember. But just remember, there is still OJ, the O letter and the J letter. The thing about the O letter and the J letter is that O is 15 and J is 10. They create 25. O and J, they create 25. When you multiply, it becomes 175. 175 is the spirit inside the heart of the Star of David. Anyways, the last thing I wanted to do is, if I was connecting doors on numbers, I would end up connecting to 45 doors in Chaldean. In Pythagorean, I'd connect the 40 doors. In Gematria, I connect the 35 doors. And I get the same amount of doors in numbers as I do to Pythagorean. 40, 40, 35. So this one and this one, these two come together to make 75. This one comes together to make 85. This is your matrix. These two come together to make 85. Why didn't I use the third world, the numbers in there? Because numbers reconnects to this one. Same numbers. How do I know? Okay, because, excuse me, this is Chaldean. I'm sorry, this is Chaldean 40. So Chaldean gets to be in both worlds, where this one seems to be only in one world, and Pythagorean is in the other part world with numbers, because numbers is 1 to 9. They're both 1 to 9. That's why. Anyways, I'm quite sure I didn't say everything I wanted to say, and I'm coming out of my buzz right now, and that shirt is going to be out of the laundry very soon. What else? What did I miss? I know I missed something, and I don't know everything. I don't know anything at all, in fact. I'm going to start studying the stars a little bit, the names of the moons. What I actually do is I take the names of things, and I'll take the letters apart, and if you say the letter M, I'll say the letter M in 3 or 4 different languages. I'll say the word. I'll look up the word in 2 or 3 other languages. I'll see what they mean in both languages, in my language, what people think of the word, what I think of the word, and then I'll take it forward, what the difference of the letter values in all 3 of the numbers. But I don't really go that far right now. I'm still, I say, I'm in basic. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching. Now, how do I upload it? Oh my God. Stop recording.